Now, police have identified the gunman as 20-year-old Adam Lanza, whose mother worked at the school and is presumed dead. Now, the horrific shooting in Connecticut has left many people in shock around the world and right here in Lloydminster. All schools have a lockdown protocol in place in case something like this was ever to happen.
I think, at this point, this incident, even though I think it will resonate, and it will resonate differently for each student because of their own circumstances.
Dr. Michael Diachuk, Director of Education for the Public School Board, says staff have been trained on a variety of safety protocols. As for the students, they were not told about today's events.
We believe probably most students will find this out with their families at home, and we'll consult with our staff, and they're aware of it to determine what steps we take, obviously, Monday morning. If there are students that are, we believe, still in need and feel that there is a need for some debriefing, intervention, counseling support, we'll make that available in our schools.
Any parents who would like to address this issue can contact their child's school. A pair of Lloydminster residents are expected to appear in court next month after allegedly trying to smuggle prohibited weapons into the country. Charges were laid by the Canada Border Services Agency under the Customs Act. Following a CKSA investigation, it is alleged the two purchased various prohibited items in the United States that were to be shipped into Canada. Todd Mansfield is charged with 4 counts under the Customs Act, and Rebecca Cheeley faces 1 charge in relation to this incident. Both are expected to appear in Lloydminster Provincial Court on January 15th. Emergency crews have been kept quite busy late this afternoon, responding to 3 single-vehicle rollovers in roughly an hour on highways in and around our city. The first rollover was called in just after 4. This was the scene on Highway 16 near Kitscotty. An SUV skidded off the road and rolled into a ditch. The second rollover happened shortly after, just on Highway 16 near the Husky Upgrader. This one involved a pickup truck. And the third crash happened on Highway 17 near Range Road 492. It's not known if anyone was injured in any of these crashes. It's also not known if speed or road conditions were a factor. 8 months after being elected as MLA for Vermilion-Lloydminster, Richard Starke has opened the doors on a brand new constituency office in the border city. Last night, Starke held his second open house in as many days. The first on Wednesday was in Vermilion, which will remain the main office for the region. It was a packed house inside MLA Richard Starke's constituency office. A mixture of both new and familiar faces coming together for an informal night.
This office will be a bit of a work in progress too, because it wasn't designed as a constituency office, but we have very nice spaces to work, and we'll go from there.
Lloydminster hasn't seen an Alberta MLA office in some 2 decades. For Starke, establishing this second office will give him an important presence within the community.
From my standpoint, I think it is an important statement to the constituency. We have, half of the population is in Lloydminster or right around in the area. And I'm from Lloydminster as well, so it was for me a practical thing to have an office here, but I'll be dividing my time obviously between the 2 offices.
MLAs are each given a set amount for their constituency offices, determined through a formula under the Members' Services Allowance budget.
It is a bit of a challenge because the budget that you're given doesn't increase. And so you do have to be very, careful with, how you allocate your resources.
And judging from the turnout, Starke says it will allow him to better serve the region.
First one we've had in my time in Lloydminster. I know there was one before that, but I've been here 20 years and I haven't experienced having a MLA office in the city.
The reason I came out is because Richard Starke is an amazing MLA, and he helped me a lot with the Flavor Gone campaign, taking it up to the government.
Hours for the office have yet to be determined, but Starke says it will likely be open for 4 hours a day, Monday to Friday.